Okay, yes, right. So it's recording now. Yeah. Okay, are we ready to start?
We've been ready for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So I did thank you everybody for coming to this meeting despite the busy schedule for some people. And I did try to send a draft program earlier. I think which I'm sharing, I think, is that okay? We can follow this, or is that okay?
Yeah, I saw it earlier. I think it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. And we know everything else will come under AOB. So opening prayer. See, Madam Aisha can do one for us, Abi.
Well, let's pray. We thank Almighty God for his mercies over us over the years. We thank Almighty God for giving us an opportunity to be here today. While we are thanking him, we are committing the souls of the departed souls of our class members, that may he rest their souls in peace. May
Amen.
he continue to protect us all. May he continue to make us have impact on humanity. May he
Amen.
guide us through this meeting and see us through success. So thank you,
Amen.
God, for everything. I pray
Thank
in
you.
God's name. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much for that short prayer. The next thing is a minute silence for our colleague. I said so. I will start timing now.
Kindly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So the next thing
So
on
the next thing on the
the agenda is the
sorry,
nomination.
sorry, Wale, to make this meeting run smoothly, can we do a bit of housekeeping so that
Okay,
we
yeah.
have an idea how we're going to manage?
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll just recommend that you as a host will be the moderator, and
Yes.
anybody who is not talking should mute their microphone. And when we want to speak, we use the raise hand function, and you recognize the speaker and they can unmute themselves and speak.
Okay, is that fine? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Um, the next agenda I have is, if people agree, is that nomination for the key officials of the LOC. I think we should have someone like could be the president, the secretary. I don't know what people's opinions are about that. So we have a yeah, so that like yeah. I don't know what people's opinions are about that. Do we need to have a nomination for the key officials? Okay, BJ, please.
Yeah, thank you for recognizing me. I
Mm.
think before we move to that, it makes sense to me to settle the venue and before going for the LOC, because it will be very prudent for the LOC to be domiciled at the venue. So if we can bring that of venue up before the nomination, just a suggestion. Thank you.
Anybody has any contrary opinion to that? Any contrary opinion? Kafar, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm not very clear about the venue in question. Venue for what?
I think he's talking about venue for the reunion, which we would discuss. I mean, it's part of the agenda of what we need to discuss today. And I've spoken to some other people which are not part of this forum earlier in the week, and people have different opinion which we can share and discuss. So so what do you think? Should we go or mix the nomination and terms of reference and go to the venue side?
Yeah, I think one does not actually affect each other. Can we take care of those nominations and we can discuss the venue later? My thought, anyway.
Okay. And so we have one set to do nomination now, one set to go for the union. Any other people have any contrary opinion or any support any of those two agendas? Or any view from anybody, please? Okay. So maybe in that situation, yeah. GOK, please.
Yes, I was just wondering that we should just keep to the agenda since we have reviewed it and we feel it's okay. So we don't digress so much.
Okay. GOK, do you want to say anything?
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. I think what Gafar said is very right. I know what PJ is trying to preempt, but in as much we are planning a reunion that we encompass everybody wherever they are. We need to choose people who are not going to be in Nigeria only, but scattered all over the globe. So choosing the venue now is not really as important. I think what is important is let's get committed members who are going to run this thing so that we spread them all over. So it won't be a burden for those who are in Nigeria only. Over.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think based on I think we just go ahead as pointed out in the agenda I sent earlier. So I think the next thing will be nomination of the key officials. So what are the key officials do we want? And who do we think will be suitable for that? So ideally, definitely we should have a president, a secretary, and other officials. So open floor, please. JK, please.
Okay, thanks. The president is a little bit broad. Probably we can have a chairperson.
Chairperson, okay.
Yeah, chairperson LOC. So the chairperson of LOC will be the one that will be the center of everything we are doing. So we cannot have deputies all over. So I would prefer the word chairperson.
Okay.
And then we can have a deputy chairperson. So the deputy will not be only one. So the deputy, we can make it regional. So that, because the reason is we need strong coordination in terms of this thing. So people need to be, involved in what we are doing. And then when you have a regional coordinator somewhere who has, a role like a deputy or a vice, I'm sure they're going to deliver better on like when they don't have any role. That's also now over.
Okay, so you're thinking maybe we should have a chairperson and the deputy will be based on multiple deputies based on all the regions, and also a secretary.
Yeah, that's a suggestion. Yeah,
Okay. Niyi, any other opinion, please?
Thank you. Wale. I shared I told the line of GOK. I think a chairperson is more appropriate. And in terms of the deputies, I think just 2 deputies will be sufficient. A local deputy in Nigeria and an international deputy. Because what we don't want is to spread it too wide and think that it becomes difficult to coordinate. If you have just 2 deputies, one based in Nigeria and one international deputy, and then I don't know, the remaining officers can be single as well, because it's not like we have 20 people in the
Yeah, it's only
committee.
10.
Yeah.
11,
And
sorry, 11.
while I have the floor, can I nominate your humble self as the chairman?
No, sorry. If I am the chairman, I won't have the time to do all the moderation and everything because I do a lot of underlining work anyway. So BJ,
It's
please.
a nomination.
BJ.
Yeah, thank you, Wally. And for the nomenclature, I think I told the line of GOK, chairman will be okay. But when we're talking of deputy, I will support more of a functional deputy and not a geographical deputy. Having more than 2 is okay, but when we identify our thematic area, logistic, support, all those thematic areas, then we can have a chairperson there that will coordinate with the chairman, as the case may be. Over.
Okay, thank you very much. GOK again.
Okay, thanks. I'm in line with what the colleagues are suggesting. I mean, they were just rubbing mine. But I think now that I have the floor, I'm not sure if it's appropriate to start nominating, but I think I just want to raise a valid point that the chairperson should be somebody who is in Nigeria. I mean, I'm not preempting anything, but based on experience, when you want to get some things done, and then you're looking at restriction now that we have COVID, so I think I will just throw the line of whoever is going to be the chairman of the organizing committee should be somebody who is, currently in Nigeria.
Thank you.
All for now.
Just to say, you suggested the chairperson should be based in Nigeria, and the deputy could be either regional or local deputy, depending on what we deem fit. Thank you. Moyo, please.
Yeah, I agree with GOK about that. That the chairperson should be in Nigeria. Yeah, because although we are not talking about location yet, but because I'm thinking that where it's going to be in Nigeria. So you need somebody local who is really committed to that idea. So that's my own suggestion. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any again?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to. Sorry. I'm going to agree and disagree. I agree in the sense that it's a sensible idea, but it's also a discriminatory idea.
You want me? Don't start again. You are your politics. I beg. Is that what you want to say? Okay. Please.
So Mediatrice raised her hand.
Yeah, you are now. Yeah, you're on floor now. Yeah.
Okay, so my own thing is like I agree with what everybody had said, and so I'm nominating Aisha for the chairperson.
Okay, great. Gafar.
Okay, thank you very much. I think with regards to chairperson, of course, I agree with GOK. Then I would like to suggest, I think I see merit in having geographical vice chairman because of our coordination, especially when it comes to, I foresee a situation where the larger house we need to contribute something probably towards it, and somebody that is representing a geographical block might be better placed to discuss with the people in that region. So I suggest that idea. With regards to chairperson, well, honestly, I'm indifferent whether it is local or international. What is important is to get a committed person. But at the same time, don't let us forget that we are working as a team. So the whole responsibilities does not lie on whoever is the chairperson or vice chairperson. So let's emphasize the need for us to really work as a team as much as we need somebody to chair, whether international. This is a planning stuff, and technology has been very for us to work together. I think those are just my few contribution at this stage. Thank you.
Okay, so just to clarify what you said, we have a chairperson, and the deputy chairperson will also be the regional coordinator for each of the regions.
Yeah, exactly my thoughts.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello?
Aisha, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I also key into the nomenclatures, but I was also thinking that instead of deputy, why can't we have coordinators? That will be able to make it more regional. That means those people will be responsible to coordinate and take care of people in that particular region. And
Okay.
I don't think we should limit it to just two, home and abroad. We have several regions. I mean, South
Okay.
Africa is far from people in Australia. And
Okay.
so that's my own submission. I was thinking Omonisi would be good in being the chairman, local organizing committees. He's quite energetic with that. Yeah.
Okay. Okwe, thank you for that. Okwe Gunleye, any?
Well, I think for me, I just feel right now the world is a global village, and it doesn't rule out the fact that somebody who is resident elsewhere may still be planning to come home, like travel down to Ilorin or wherever the venue is going to be. So I'm not really sure we should put a lot of emphasis on this geographical stuff that we're talking about. It's, yeah.
Yeah. I have an opinion on that after sampling other people's opinions. I mean, apart not people from this group, so other class members, which I think we will discuss. But I think I would favor the issue that we have a regional coordinators, which we work with the regional people, regional classmates to work out what they can sort out in each region. But I think we can discuss that when we go to the format of the reunion. BJ.
Yeah, I still have concern with the regional stuff. The point is, I mean, the world is global village now, and we do practically everything virtually. Now, the way we are seated here, at least all continents of the world, or most continents of the world are represented, and we are meeting. So having, for the fact that you are in England, does not mean you get to see Nivoski that much. So the way I can communicate with him, if I want, that's the way you can communicate with him. So I will support a functional, I still maintain that functional. I mean, regional, we don't need regional. We do most of our things virtually now. You can be in Nigeria and be transacting with those in China at the same time, those in Alaska at the same time. So, I mean, we should make it functional. That's my thought, honestly.
So the reason for the regional issue is because I know some regions are also planning their own reunion. Like even I spoke to some people earlier today in the UK, and they will not be able to come to Nigeria, but they said they want to have a UK reunion. I know North America too also doing similar things. So I would be of the opinion, although we have the chairperson, we should also have the regional coordinators in case each region want to decide what they want to do. And the regional person too can also be technically function as a deputy chairperson in case they have any other opinion. So the regional coordinator's task is just to organize what their own regions want. And if they want to have their own local reunion, that would be very fine. That's my own opinion, sir.
So,
any other?
Sorry. Just like a follow-up question. So the question, what you're trying to say, because these are information to me. Are we going to have a subset of the reunion within reunion? Because my idea, is that what's going to be?
So okay, let me just give you the summary. I had a chat with some people, even some people in Nigeria, and somebody told me that, for example, if we put the reunion in Ilorin, because the risk of travel in Nigeria is a bit difficult for them, they will not be able to go. So, and they, for example, somebody said, okay, we Ibadan, Lagos can decide to come together at a convenient time, have their own local union. You in Abuja too, we may decide together, because some people said they won't want to travel and receive to Ilorin. That's what some people told me. So, and and even if people in the UK, I spoke to somebody earlier today in the UK, and they said that they will not be able to come to Nigeria, but they will prefer a local reunion in the UK kind of thing. So that's how I was thinking. Maybe that we have a general one, which with the venue is maybe say Ilorin, and if each region wants to do their own, then it's OYO. That's my own view. Is it Niji first? Niji or Aisha?
Hello. I I think we're digressing. Let's sort this out first.
Yes.
And then move. Because that is part of the agenda. Selecting the modality for the reunion. Yeah. Let's sort this out first. Don't let's digress so that we'll save time. We have
thank you.
stated that we're using 1 hour, please. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Niji, you've looked at your hand.
Yeah, I will just be repeating what Aisha said.
Okay, perfect. GOK, please.
Okay, thanks. I think Aisha said the part of what I was going to say. Okay. The other thing is that I think we should be silent on the regional union for now.
Yeah.
I mean, they just keep that one by the side. It's not part of what we're talking about. And it can't even be a reunion. So it's probably we get together that people want to do on their own. The reunion that we want to do is the one that we are planning now.
Okay, so in summary now, just not to digress, we need a chairperson and we need regional coordinators. We can decide that if they want to do a get-together, and we need a secretary. Is that right to say? Okay, so we say the chairperson should preferably be based in Nigeria in case we need to coordinate things. And people are suggesting Aisha because she is based in Lorin and she will be able to help us. And we have people that are ready to work with you at any time, team momentum. Aisha, are you okay with that? Don't say no, please. Please. We're happy to work with you.
I can't say no.
Sorry, don't preempt the thing. We have a few nominations. We'll vote on it, and you know.
We have 2 nominations: Aisha and Bidemi. Or the Bidemi, I don't know why Monis is not. It's not been talking. Although he's online, but I don't know what's happening. GOK, you want to say something?
Yes, I was going to say that we let's have nominations, and then the people that have been nominated, if they accept that nomination, then we can unanimously agree and vote it to be the last option. I don't want to make it political, but the most important thing at this stage is this. Colleagues are talking about the virtual nature of the world. I'm telling you, we are virtual, but I can tell you a lot of things are not working because of that. Yeah. When it comes to this kind of a reunion you are talking about, if we are really planning to do it, I can tell you from personal experience, there are some personal connections you need to make. I mean, one-on-one. I'm telling you, if you think you are going to stay in Abuja and then will be phoning somebody that you want to use their oil, I'm telling you that oil will not be ready when you want to do it. So that's just an example. So I'm still emphasizing that the chairperson, whoever it's going to be, that person to be in Nigeria, because I'm telling you there will be some time where they need to make some personal connection, talk to people one-on-one, so that things can happen and things can work. We can never do a reunion whereby all of us will be present 100%. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But we want majority of the class to come. So, but the most important thing at this stage is that we are going to need people to run errands. We are going to need people to press some buttons. We are going to need people to talk to people, and it's going to be very easy for that person to be in Nigeria, not to fly down from Australia or the UK, because they want to meet with somebody who is going to do this and this for us. So that's my own point at this point. Thanks, over.
Thank you. Niyi and Tris, then we can quickly move on. So Niyi next, please.
Yeah, I think I just want us to be clear. BJ already said something similar earlier on. We need to collectively agree that we're working together. Yes. And I wouldn't expect whoever is the chair to feel responsible for doing every single thing. We should, if we're all going to be working together, then people who are ideally placed should be, the chairperson should be able to delegate certain tasks to people who are closer to where that task needs to be met. So I appreciate what you're saying, GOK, but I think the purpose of the chairperson is not to personally run all the errands, it's to coordinate the whole project. And it doesn't need to be physically present to coordinate the project. It's essentially the project manager and not, the foot soldier. So apology for the analogy.
Tris, please.
Yeah. So it's already 3:38, and we are really very every point here is enlightening, because when people talk, I'm like, wow, I didn't even think it that way. But just to add to what Nee says and other people, BJ and GOK, at the end of the day, the person that will be most efficient and beneficiary for us is someone, number one, that is ready to commit some time to manage affairs. And also not just in Nigeria, anywhere, when you have a voice, you will be listened to. So the two people already nominated are really awesome. Bidemi is very meticulous. Aisha is meticulous, and she also has a voice and a leg and a hand. So maybe, like, some of these things we can twitch it as we go on, but we can start moving through the agenda so we don't spend the whole day here. And also make sure everybody's listening to, because I know when we leave here, somebody, like, we remember something and like, oh yeah, I think this thing is this way. But that's what I want to say.
Thank you very much. So I think for the chairperson, we have two nominees, Aisha and Omonisi. Any other nominee you want to add to the list? Any more? So no more nominees. So Aisha, Omonisi. The way I can do it is, if you want Aisha, if you could just use the raise hand button, then I can count it from my end. If you want Aisha, please, you use the raise hand button, please.
Sorry, why don't we just make them chairperson and assistant, and let's just move on?
Yeah, so somebody needs to be chair, somebody needs to be assistant. So which
co-chairs. There's nothing
co-chairs.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
should we just
add?
That makes sense to me. Co-chair, please.
Okay, perfect.
So we move on.
Yeah,
perfect.
co-chair
Thank you.
sounds good. Let's move on.
So co-chairs are Aisha and Omonisi. But Omonisi, Aisha, are you okay with that?
Hello, good evening. Sorry.
Omonisi.
Okay.
At last, so
sorry, I've been having challenges with. I actually just came back not quite long. As marathon lectures and medical student. I'm sorry for joining late. I think I picked few words. Submission from our honorable Boke and others. I just think that if you look at geographical location and this service challenges in getting meetings done. We are fortunate that Aisha is in London and is strategically located. I agree with other submissions that the world is not a global village. Anybody from anywhere can coordinate the meeting, but we must also know that sometimes it's very difficult getting things done online. There are certain assignments that you have to be on ground. And we are fortunate that she has mostly as the CEO of UITH. So definitely she commands a lot of respect, based on that. So I think we should actually make Aisha we'll give her the necessary support. We're on ground in the country, we support her to ensure that and again we also recall during our 10th anniversary I was the chairperson. So I think it's good things like this we shall like go around. Let's test other people's ability, and also their makeup. So I think I will support Aisha, I will only step down for her. But we'll give her the necessary support to ensure that the event is a success. Thank you very much.
So you're suggesting you don't want to be if I get you right, we're really keen to be the chairperson, but you're ready to be the deputy. I wasn't too sure. Sorry. Hello. I want to see.
Oh, sorry. I think what we are deliberating on, sorry, I've been on and off of my network.
I know, sorry.
Is the chair of the committee. So I think it's the chair we are talking about. If it's the chair, I think it's nice that we just make Aisha the chairman of the committee.
So what we're saying is, are you happy to be a co-chair? So working together with Omonisi, that's what, with Aisha, being a co-chair rather than being a chairperson.
I'm happy to work with her if that what the group decides.
Okay, perfect. So could we say in conclusion, the co-chairperson is Aisha and Omonisi? Is that people happy with that? Thank you, Jerry. Yeah.
I to the right.
Yeah. So just to say, co-chairperson Aisha and Omonisi. Thank you very much. And Aisha, any contrary opinion, please?
None, sir.
Thank you very much, ma. And do we need a secretary or any nomination for secretary?
BJ. I'm
BJ?
nominating BJ.
BJ secretary.
Okay.
Seconded.
BJ, don't take your head, dude.
Sorry. I have to shake my head. I would have loved to, but the time, I'm sort of occupied with a lot of things at this time. And time is really issue. So I'm not sure I would like to take, but whatever auxiliary task delegated to me, I will be more than happy to do it. Thank you.
Sorry, now that BJ is declining that role, I think we're discriminating against our colleagues in diaspora to have chair, co-chair in Nigeria and secretary in Nigeria as well. So let's consider somebody abroad, please.
Okay, Niyo
Redola. I vote for Niyi.
I vote for Niyi too.
If you
yes,
ask,
Niyi, don't Niyi.
If you ask Amina, Mazai, and Kemi, they'll tell you that I hate taking
notes. But this one, we're not taking notes now. I joke, you want to say something?
I think the perfect secretary will be Wale himself. So,
yeah, that's what I just.
Secretariat will be the engine room of this
absolutely.
Wale is perfectly placed to,
I second that.
Seconded too.
So the thing is that Wale is good for coordination. He's very meticulous, and he will be overall, bookkeeper. But we also should be careful not to settle him with a lot of work to do. So if he's okay with it, that's fine. If it's not okay, we can nominate another person and forget this geographical thing because, it's not going to fly. So
anybody, if
he's not taking it, I will nominate Moyo.
Only you are not declining, just take it, please.
Okay, no problem. No work. Okay, no
Thank
problem.
You.
Okay, yeah, fine.
Sorry, Wale. Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, apology for the interruption. I think just to make it clear to the whole house, the next meeting we are going to have, Wale will not share. It will be Aisha and BGB that will share the meeting. So Wale is, because he's one that organized this, and the class governor was not available, I'm not sure. So that's the reason why Wale is sharing this meeting. So subsequent meeting, Wale will be the secretary, then Aisha and BGB will be the chairperson of the meeting. Thanks, over.
Thank you.
Sorry, sir, but you can still host us.
No, I can host you, definitely.
It's still within the powers of the secretary to host the meeting.
All right.
No problem. Okay, and the last thing we need to say, just the regional coordinators. And the task of the regional coordinators is just to carry along members in this region and feedback to them, chase them up in case we need anything like that. So for North America, would that be trees?
I was getting ready to nominate Moyo.
North America, Moyo, trees, or which person is akin to?
I'll give it to Moyo.
I'll vote for Moyo.
Yeah.
Moyo, are you okay with that?
I'm okay. I will take care of that.
Perfect.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
For UK, it has to be Nevoskio. Is that okay, Niyi?
Yeah, I think it's okay. You don't have to take note here,
I need for Saudi, it has to be GOK.
No, the class governor actually coordinates our members here. So he is not part of this meeting now. I said it should be an ex officio. He should be the one doing the coordination because he has a role to play.
So you should put it.
I have a question. My understanding is that I may be wrong. That's why I'm asking. Wale, you asked Akin, and he said it's not convenient for him at this time to be part of this meeting.
No. It's not what really happened. Somebody in the class said maybe Akin should not be part of the LOC, but we can kind of report to Akin. I think this is what the LOC decide, and being the class governor of everything, then can relate things to the house. That's what somebody suggested. And I did discuss.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah.
So
I didn't understand because. Yeah, I didn't understand because, like, if we're choosing, I think maybe you should bring him in. If we're choosing people that will lead, they should be within the committee. Then also, because, like, you know, if we start doing things like that we do here, you report to class captain, it becomes more confusing because we're no more in school. Then you have to report to Michelle, and it becomes, I think you should bring in Akin here if he wants to be.
Okay.
You understand? He should be here. I thought he didn't want to be here.
No, he did not know that. Somebody said, and I did ask him about that, and he said that's fine. But if people say I should bring him back, I can add him and I can discuss that with him. That shouldn't be a problem.
I agree with Trix. Yeah, I think we should let go of this sentiment, class chairman or whatever. We're no longer in school. This is different.
Okay, but I will speak to him again and add him back.
I was going to say the same thing because I mean we're all under the cover of a lump sum.
Okay, BJ, want to say anything now?
Yeah, I think they all read my mind.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So for coordinator for South Africa will be Akin, and I will try and include Akin into this LOC meeting. Thank you. And I think Australia, although Bode is not here, I will leave that to Bode. So North America will be Moyo, UK Niyi, Saudi Akin, and Australia will be Bode. Any other place? Do you have a colleague in Antarctica or any other place we can?
Not yet.
South
Not
America.
Yet in Antarctica. North America, we've talked about that.
South America.
Anybody in South America? You know, BJ, you've traveled all over the world. If you do now.
I think there's one in Brazil.
Who's in Brazil?
What did you jam in Brazil?
Sorry, let's move on. Just
Okay, thank you very much for that. So I think the next, let me just share the screen again. The next agenda, I just put terms of reference. Do we need to discuss that? The terms of reference is just to know what our limits are, or we can skip that if people feel just not required, or do we think it needs to be discussed? Oh, Ni, you want to say something, please?
I think when you're forming a LOC, it's very vital you have a terms of reference. Okay. You can't have a committee without a term of reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just echo what I said earlier on, that we should all commit to working together and not saddling any one person with the responsibility of doing all the work. And if the chairperson asks any of the committee members to help coordinate something in their region, they should be, you know, willing to do it without a lot of hassle. And if they can't do it, it should be their responsibility to find who can do it, even outside the committee.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So, terms of reference. Anybody can? Oh, do you want to say something, please?
Yes, before I forget, I was I think I'm aware now that we have a bank. The group has a bank account, isn't it?
Yes.
So the signatory to those accounts, do we have the members there? I know Akin told me the name, but I've forgotten the signatory to the account. But do we have any of them in this LOC?
Okay, so the signatory to the account, because the account needs to be open in Nigeria. So there's what's her name? Ime Williams, Kelekun, and Babatunde. And the reason we went for them is because they work in the same hospital. And when Andrew, who helped to coordinate the account, it's easier for him to take the form to one person, and that could be signed off. So that's why we pick those people that work in the same hospital. And the transfer from the account is being done online. and I have access to do the online transfer, he may also have the access to do the online transfer. So if we need to move any money out, and if I need to check print balance, I can do it because it's an online account. So that's been sorted out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. Terms of reference, anybody want to say anything? Nevuski.
I think the first thing first, what are we hoping to deliver? The objective of the group is to deliver a reunion at the end of 2021. Then I don't know, maybe other people want to contribute, because how we deliver this reunion is what we now need to flesh out.
Okay, great. Anybody else has Aisha, please?
Well, in clear terms, like Niyi just said, our main objective is to deliver a reunion at the end of this year. So the first term of reference is for us to be able to plan and coordinate how we are going to achieve this objective. And then subsequently from that planning, we'll be able to recommend the activities that we think will be able to make us achieve this set objective to the main class for approval and then execution.
Okay, thank you.
And sorry, I didn't raise my hand, but can I just add that if we can put a time frame to when we want to have a deliverable plan?
Yeah, I think we can discuss that when we go to the next item, which is the potential dates. Then we know what potential date, then we can set a target for that. That will be more easier when we know what we want to do. Anybody else want to add anything to the terms of reference? So what I have is the aim of the task is just to deliver a reunion, and that will include planning and coordinating the reunion, making recommendations and activities to the whole class to be able to achieve the objective of the reunion. Anybody wants to add anything to that, please? Anybody? No?
I raised my hand.
Sorry. Sorry, I wasn't looking. GOK, please. Sorry. GOK first, then.
Yes, I was going to say that is it possible for us to have a page, summary of these terms in terms of, the aim is this, the activity will be this, the time, and frame will be this, just like a brief summary, so that we put it in the main group, and then it's easy for people to, to read and digest quickly. Yeah, I would say whatever I want to say.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Sorry, I didn't get that again. Sorry.
I said a page summary of these terms of reference.
Okay.
So I can put it into the group for them to see. So very brief and concise. All this that you have said now. That's okay. We want to deliver, a reunion. We want to plan the activity. These are, the timeline and stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you. BJ, please, before Gaffer.
Yeah. GOK said some of the things I want to say. So in addition to that, we should have a milestone for each activity. That activity X is supposed to end. So, and we should be able to evaluate ourselves as we progress through this towards achieve the main delivery. Thank you.
Okay, great. And
can I speak? Oh, sorry.
Okay, so don't let us forget that whatever activities that we want to implement, most of them will require funding. So I think it should be part of the responsibility of this committee to do a cost estimate of activities and advise on how to mobilize resources, whether to ask members to contribute or whatever way we want to contribute. Over.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
So the question is, we're trying to.
No, I want to ask a question.
Okay. Yes, what?
So we're talking about terms of reference. Are we talking about terms of reference for this committee, or we're talking about what kind of term of reference?
So the terms of reference is what's the plan? I mean, we need to know what we need to do. This LOC, what our task.
Exactly. So why can't the secretary, now we have a secretary, why can't the secretary work on a draft and then present it to this house, and then we can vote on it and adopt it before we present it to the whole class?
Okay.
Can I say something too?
Yes.
What Gafar pointed out is very important, but I don't know at what point it comes in. But I also would suggest maybe we'll have, unless the secretary is going to do it, maybe we have something like a bookkeeper, a treasurer nominated for this purpose, because we're going to get money, we're going to contribute money for this. And since it's going to be going into the class account or something, the committee should be able to manage their finances, and at the end of the day, we can present what we did. And the other people running the account are just signatories. It's not their duty to keep record of what we're doing, our plan and expenses and budgets, because we're going to have a budget. I don't know. But Wale, if you think you can do that, but I think, like, maybe Gafal should do it for us or somebody else, so that at the end of the day, you reconcile it, Wale, and then present it to the class when we're all done.
Okay. I do agree. Maybe having somebody like a lecturer, a treasurer, just to know what the account and what
My hand is up.
Oh, sorry, BJ.
Yeah. So thank you. Let me support what Trix and Gafar said. Having finance backbone, it's like the Bring Boss Support project, actually. However, before you go for that, you must know what you want to do.
Yes.
And that will be the premise for you to budget on, I want to spend X on Y, So what we want to do has to be very clear in our mind. And we can now set out on how much is it. Then the next step, how do you want to get this money? So to further support what Trick said about getting someone, maybe like a treasurer or something, so that we don't overlabor the secretary. So I will nominate Gafar. He has experience in economics and stuff like that. So I know money should be safe. And he has a pedigree at Kwamsa's treasurer. So I think I'll nominate him for that position, if it's agreeable to everybody. Thank you.
So Gafar, are you open to be the treasurer or financial coordinator? Any contrary opinion to that?
No objection.
No objection. Thank you very much. So I have access to the account, and I can always print the statement and send you from time to time to know when people pay. And because for you to have access, you need to be able to download, and it's so complex. You need to go to the bank to release the pin. But I have access. I can send you the statement from time to time. That should be a problem. Okay, thank you. So I think regarding the time of recess, what I feel is, just not for us not to drag it too much, is if I sit down and have a draft or based on what we've discussed today, maybe possible, then send it across to people later, and people can feel and feedback, and I can redefine it again. Oh, Duke, you want to say something? Sorry, I forgot.
Yes, thanks. I think probably we have to look at the strength of the member of this group and, use the strength very well.
Yes.
When you say somebody like Gafar should be a bookkeeper, I don't think you are using the strength. He can raise funds for you. You see, if you want to write documents, I can write for you. Let's see. Let's look at this very well. I'm not saying we should make Gafar, but we're looking at raising funds. He might be able to assist in that area. So now maybe it's going to take extra duty. And then let's look at something. We want to draft a document. He might be able to assist in terms of how we're going to allocate and the people we're going to approach and stuff like that. And Omonisti has been doing some of these things. So we need to use the strength of the group. I'm not saying we shouldn't give them roles, but let's look at what some people have done before, and then let's tap into their strength and see, how we can maximize, the roles and then optimize everything. Thanks. Over.
Okay, Niji, then
okay. Sorry.
My
Can I
dear
go?
Tricks, I have the floor.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know. That's why I asked. And who gave you the floor?
Thank you. No, Tricks, if you want to say so, I'll just keep
If you raise your hand, then I will call you.
Oh, I didn't raise. Me, go ahead.
So me.
You've made me lose my chain of thought now. I was just going to say that as we go along, we have an early start now. Today is 13th of February.
Yeah.
But I mean, as time goes on, I appreciate what GOK is saying, and it's very vital. But we will be discovering aspects of this project that will need specialists' attention, and we shouldn't be in a hurry to fill all those posts as to who is doing what now. Let's just define a clear time. All we need now is, like we've identified, chairperson, coordinators, just to kick off the committee. And then as time goes on, we will be realizing where we need specialist attention, and we'll be looking at filling those gaps with the appropriate person. I'm sure before we get to March, April, we'll still discover new aspects that need maybe BJ's special skills. I mean, we can't fill all the posts today. Otherwise, we won't end this meeting.
Okay, great. So I think we limit it to the key posts we've already nominated: co-chairman, secretary, regional coordinator, and treasurer. And that is coming. BJ, want to say something? BJ,
Yeah,
then Chris, then Omonisi. BJ.
So I'll just build on what Nia said. And one thing that
BJ, excuse. Can somebody mute? All of us mute. Somebody is playing music.
I will mute everybody. Okay, fine. So BJ.
Okay.
It's actually from my end. It's my daughter that is playing with her phone. Sorry about that. So building on what Niyi said, I think responsibility to members of this group will not be solitary responsibility. We want to task, people can take one responsibility, can take two, can take three, depending on their strengths. And if we need people outside the committee and they are our classmates, we can always call on them if they have a special skill that we need to move forward with this. So, I mean, when you look at it, keeping the money, having a good record of the money is as good as generating the money, because you want someone with experience on bookkeeping, for example, and for transparency again, because this is people's money. You have to report back to them on how this is spent. So I don't know how to do that. I know most people don't have hands-on on how to do this kind of stuff. So I think I'll rest it there.
Okay, Tris, then Omonisi after Tris. Tris?
BJ covered what I need to cover, so that's okay.
Okay, it's fine, great. Omonisi.
Thank you very much. I think what we can also do, as I have suggested, we must also have, well-defined strategies. That's how we have terms of reference. Once you have terms of reference, we should also need to develop, the various strategies of getting that done. And I think one master one that is very important is for us to carry our colleague along. We have the Central Planning Committee. We are a member of the Planning Committee. Also stopping us having a subcommittee. Like we know GOK is very good in publication. Things like this, if we're investing our time and resources, to organize kind of 20-year reunion after the medical school 2 decades, we also need to publicize the activity. So we can, and they have publication committee. Somebody mentioned something like fundraising. Fundraising is very important because it's one thing for it to say, okay, let's level ourselves. But sometimes you need to mobilize people, for people to key into such level, either internally or externally. You can also get support, from companies, from private companies, donor agency, and things like that. So at the end of the day, me also, need to have a fundraising committee, to sort that out. So, logistic or projects, we are thinking of any project, we want to donate something, we want to do something in the school. We need some people to help us do some estimate. So I think, the way forward, is for us to, after having time of reference, what are the activity that we are thinking about? What do you want to do? That will form the fulcrum of developing our budget. Do you just want to do the union, we gather in a hall, do public lecture, have a nice dinner, and we'll call it a day? Do you want to extend it by donating an equipment or one kind of project or the other in the medical school? So we need to have an idea, a realistic idea of what, the event of the various, programs of events that we're thinking about. Once we have that and we have the estimate budget, that will guide us really on what to do. As Leah also suggested, I'm sure that as we kind of more ideas will come and we also be able to develop further. I absolutely agree, and I think that if you bring them up into this committee, the area of the political somebody, I think is over. We all add that, so we need to carry him along, also platforms. Thank you very much. Over, Wale.
Sorry, yeah, the last, I didn't really get the last bit very well. So, but what I feel is I will draft it in terms of reference and send it out to people for comment. And I will make it here before we have a final one. And I feel as the project develop, we identify different areas. And when we identify different areas, then we can arrange a subcommittee. For example, if we think, oh, this is the time for us to raise the money, then we can arrange nominate some people to be part of the fundraising committee to do that from time to time. I think as this project goes on, we pick up so many things along the line which we need to work more on at the moment. Okay, so I think we just need to move on now, and the next activity agenda I have is should we think about the reunion itself? What are the potential dates? What format do we think we should be like? What's the venue? Any possible programs we think should be included, and every possible project we think we should be included. Thank you. I think you want to say something, please.
Oh yeah. I have a skeletal map in my head as to what I think could be workable. I know you mentioned earlier on about some people planning some sub reunion, and that is not our terms of reference. It's important to note that a large population of our classmates are not going to be able to be physically present wherever we decide to hold this reunion. And it will be a good idea to carry as many people along as possible. I doubt if I'll be able to go to Ilorin at the end of the year, given the current, situation in the world. It's still, difficult to tell what's going to happen. But what can work as far as I see it, if we need to have a physical reunion, there's no doubt about that. But while that is going on, if we can have regional reunions, maybe at the same time, where people who can't travel can also gather in groups. And if we can use technology to link all the different groups, I mean, if we can have a big screen in each center with a camera so that you can see what's going on in Ilorin, people in Ilorin can see what's going on in London, and people in London, you can see what's going on in South Africa. It sounds complicated, but I think it's workable. And that way we can have as many people gathered both physically and virtually at the same time. But for the physical gathering in Nigeria, I think Ilorin alma mater would be probably the most ideal location for that to happen. Thank you.
Yeah, so before BG and GOK, let me just say, because I did have some chat with some people earlier in the week. No, I'm not people of this LOC. So my own view is to have a hybrid of physical and virtual reunion in which people will meet, which is based in Ilorin, and people can log in through Zoom. Like we have the Zoom meeting. If people want to log in, they can log in to see. So for that, you need a camera and a screen, which I think should not be a major problem. And even to people in Nigeria, when I spoke to them, people in Lagos said that they may find it difficult to travel to Ilorin. So, but if people, some group in Lagos want to have their own get together, sub reunion, if that's what they feel, then that's fine. They can organize it, let us know. And also that could also be a kind of a virtual plus a physical reunion. If I'm around in Nigeria at the same time, I could be there. Definitely, if depending on what time it is in Ilorin, I plan to be there. If it's depending on what time of the year and how the coronavirus is playing up. That's my own opinion. And definitely in UK people, they want to have their own reunion. I know North American people are also organizing their own at some point. So I think there should be a liberty to say, apart from the one in London, then people in regional and each region should also have the liberty to organize their own. That's my own. But BJ, please.
Yeah, thank you. I think we should tread carefully about this issue of regional and sub-regional reunion. And once we leave that open, you realize those in Nigeria, you realize there will practically be nobody in Ilorin, because those in Abuja wants to hold their own in Abuja, those in Lagos want to hold those in Offa, for example, who want to hold it in Offa. And this committee should not be seen to be pushing that forward.
Okay.
That is one. I mean, people have done, before they actually, COVID response is improving every day. A lot of people have been vaccinated. A lot of vaccines have been earmarked to be coming down to Nigeria. So hopefully before then, people should be able to move around. Vaccination must have gone, a large proportion of the community should have been vaccinated. Maybe I may be sounding selfish, but we should push for people to be physically present if it's conducive by the current situation of the world. And I can tell you, some secondary schools have done this. People came from all over the world to the community. I mean, if Ilorin can train me, I can't say I can't come to Ilorin now. I mean, that is, I don't know. So those that want to hold their regional or sub-regional this thing, well, they are free, it's a free word, but this committee should not be seen to do that. Because if we do, you realize that the reunion in Ilorin will be left for those. Thank you.
Okay, noted. JK, please. Then Aisha after that.
Thanks. I think BJ has said some of the things that I was going to say, and I said it earlier on that we should be quiet about. I think we should put it in our terms of reference that nobody should organize any middle class 2000 reunion on the same day we are going to organize our own. And I'm going to tell you the reason. I agree with the hybrid that Niyi and Wale suggested. Yeah, it's possible that we are doing it in Ilorin. I think there's no two way about it. It should be in Ilorin. It's not even Lagos or Abuja. It should be in Ilorin. I'm sure Ilorin can host any event that we plan to host. Yes, airport Ilorin. If you cannot get to the airport Ilorin, get to Lagos. But so Ilorin should be the venue. There's no debate about that. Now, number two, those who are saying they cannot travel, we understand what is going on in the world. Nobody will say, I want to organize my South Africa reunion on the 21st of October 2021 when they are doing the same thing in Ilorin. If you allow that to happen, most of the fund that you are trying to generate, you will discover that it's going to go regionally. And you know the way people do the ring fence when it comes to this. You know, we've done fund the same in the past and we know what's happened. So those who are saying they cannot come to Ilorin, fine, we understand that. Those who are able to come, let them come. And those who are not going to be there, who can join them, virtually let them join. But if they say they want to organize their own, it shouldn't be on the same day. Let them do it 24 hours after our own, so that we are not going to be sharing the same funds. Because, for instance, when you send letter to to maybe to SIPLA that you want to do an event, medical class, and this event will be in Ilorin, and they say they are going to support you and they are going to bring some maybe material for you, and then somebody says they are doing their own and that place, the same class. No, that's when they will say, what are these guys doing? So please, I support what BG has said. Let's just be quiet about it. We're not saying like the LOC is for the one reunion for the whole class, and we are going to do it in such a way that those who are not able to come, there will be technology that will connect people all over the world so that they can even speak, they can make some presentation, they can do whatever they want to do. But doing all these things in silo, we're going to, efforts, we are going to waste time. So I don't want us to go there. Thanks. Over.
Thank you very much. Noted. Aisha, please.
Well, it's just to add my voice to the two earlier speaker. We will try to encourage as many people as we can, especially those people in Nigeria, because like Big J said, before we know it, I will do in Ilorin East, and someone will do in Ibadan. So for those that are resided in Nigeria, we should try to encourage as many as can be in Ilorin. Those that are outside, the pattern of COVID will actually determine how much people that will be able to enter into the country at that time that will be organizing the events. So we can leave that open. But for those in Nigeria, I think we should encourage ourselves also come out to represent the class. I think that is the spirit. It's unlikely that we'll all be able to come, but as many as we can, and you have stated it that it's going to be hybrid for as much as we can get on ground, and then the others can be on virtual representation. Thank you.
Thank you. Omonisi, please.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Just to support what BJ have said, I concur with submission absolutely. The essence of reunion is for us to activate old memories. When the essence of reunion, you are in Nigeria, you cannot come to learn. The same learning that that empowered us 20 years ago. The essence of reunion is seeing BJ physically again after many years, embracing herself, going to the old spot, Agboba, our former hotel, hostels, our former classroom, having a chat with our old teacher, that are there, visiting site, even inspiring the students are there, building some word of hope, in them, interacting with the students. Telling that 20 years ago, we were here like you, but today, thank God, with what you have been taught in London, this is where we are. So I think, Ilorin is very accessible. If you're in any part of the world, Ilorin has an airport, for God's sake. It's something about planning. From Lagos, there's direct airports to, flights to Ilorin, from Abuja to Ilorin. So if you can connect Lagos, you can connect Abuja, we are in Ilorin. For people that are afraid of security, I agree, there are security concerns, but I think Ilorin is very, very accessible. And we must encourage people to be physically present. Because the other one we organized 10 years ago, many of us were there, the lecturers appreciated us. So I think we should encourage people. And that's why I think mobilization is very important. And just like GOK have said, we must discourage this regional, people want to do it, celebrate regionally, people are free to do that. But that should not superimpose the central one. All our energy, all our contribution should be channeled towards the central one. People are free to organize a satellite celebration, as the case may be, but that shouldn't affect the major one. Those in Nigeria, I think we should encourage. In fact, people are abroad. That is why we should think of a date that is flexible. Some people can travel in from Nigeria, from their various places to Nigeria, to also use the opportunity, to celebrate whatever end of year, whatever with their family. So I think I'm in support of the central one. Let's encourage people to come to Ilorin. This satellite one should be totally discouraged. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the release Niyi, then Moyo, Gafar, and Tree. So Niyi, please.
Thank you, Wale. I think just to make one thing clear, first off, I'm not by any means suggesting that we have multiple meetings in Nigeria, because if we have that one and all the efforts of this LOC is channeled towards the reunion in Ilorin. Even if I'm not there, any donations I make is still going to go to the reunion in Ilorin. I'm not going to make or split my donations because I can't make it to Nigeria. The last reunion, Walexi, if you remember, we had in UK, it was hosted by an individual and it didn't cost anybody anything. So nobody is suggesting, well, your fuel is your fuel. Nobody is suggesting that we utilize the funds generated by the LOC to do any satellite gathering. But in as much as we want to encourage as many people as possible to make it to Ilorin, it is just, even without COVID, I mean, to expect people to travel from, all corners of the world, it's a big ask. You would, a lot of people will still not be able to travel, and that doesn't, we shouldn't disenfranchise them from being able to meet whoever is their colleague in the vicinity they are in, and at the same time be able to join with the whole group if they can. But that is not to say this LOC is our primary objective is to achieve a reunion in Ilorin. Whether I'm there or not, whether Walex is there or not, is immaterial. What is material is that a reunion is happening in Ilorin for this class. And if we're going to make any donations to the school, any whatever project we are doing, it is targeted towards University of Ilorin Medical School, not uh, a bunch of has been in UK. Yeah, so that's just all I needed to say.
Thank you very much. Muyo, then Gafar, then Tris.
So I think, we've listened to a lot of suggestions from people. So maybe we should just hone down on one, when. So I think location, I agree with Ilorin. When, I think October. October is exactly what I'm suggesting. Well, people are free to actually suggest, any other thing. And obviously, the main event should be on a weekend, maybe a Saturday, the main event for the reunion. We can plan other activities around, but we have a main event. Those are my own suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you. Gafar, then Tris.
Okay, thank you very much. Just to quickly lend my voice to the prevailing direction with regards to the conversation we are having. I think what I would just like to emphasize first, I think we have to be very careful about the narrative we are putting forward in terms of what we want to do, so that we ensure there's clarity of purpose. Some clarity of purpose. I deliberately switch off the whatever, so that there's a clarity of purpose in terms of what we want to do. So I think the central message is that we want to have a class project, and the project is a reunion project, which everybody has to contribute to. I think the way we start is very, very important in terms of the message we're communicating. Then secondly, in terms of people attending or not, this is February. I guess we are planning to do something around October or thereabout. I think if we really emphasize the need for us to come, of course, that no matter what we do, we can't have everybody there. I think we can have a very good number if we start, now and emphasize the need for people to be a part of it as much as possible. So in terms of specifics, I would like to recommend that we have like a lecture that that is able to educate people about very, very important topic in health system space. Then we can plan to have a dinner. Then we can plan to have a formal commissioning of a project that we've agreed to do, whether we've agreed to buy something for the school or build something to unveil that project that day. So those are my suggestions in terms of 3 specific things. Apologies if we are not there yet, but I just wanted to put that out. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Tris, please.
So what I'm saying or I'm suggesting is like, just like what Bidemi is saying, we will, as a committee, focus on reunion in Ilori. Someone like the US or North America, we've already planned for a reunion. Last year, it didn't happen. We'll see if it can happen this year. And it had nothing to do with our 20th anniversary. It was just something we have planned. But my thing is like people participate in things, not because they've woken up and say, oh, if they are doing reunion, I will go. Audiovisual is very important. So now we have a committee. We should look at getting a logo or something for this upcoming reunion so that weekly we put it in the general class. It might be a small video clip because the more people see, the more they talk about it, the more they even start contemplating, maybe I can go. Because the beauty of it is getting all of us together. Not every one of our classmates will be there, but as many as will be there, to come and have a weekend where you just unwind and remember the old days. Reunion everywhere is a big deal, but it depends on the planning. So what I'm adding to what everybody says that let us start thinking of how to make this real in terms of putting, like, maybe we get design a flyer or something that we keep not outside, within our group, the class group, every Monday or like every Sunday, and you put this small video clip, things that even it might be clips from our yearbook, some of those quotes, things that will make people start thinking back 20 years ago, because that will increase the interest, increase the revenue, and increase participation, and that is success. So thank you.
Okay, BJ, then I can make a summary of.
Yeah, thanks, Trix. That's quite innovative, and studies have shown that getting people to think or look about things repeatedly sort of stimulate interest, and we can actually adopt that. Having said that, I will also suggest that the reunion is held in October, perhaps maybe the third week of October, which is about the time we actually left school. And in addition to what we plan to do, which, if it's possible, convenient, depending on the number of people that will be available, we should plan medical outreach, as in touching the community, touching the society with our expertise. I mean, when you look at us, there's no field of medicine that we don't have in our class, and glory be to God. So we can impact on the society what God has given us in a way. Of course, that is in addition to the project or what we want to build for the school. Thank you. Over.
Okay. Nobody. So I think from listening to what people have said, so I think the way forward is the reunion should be based in Ilorin, and it could be a combination of both physical and a virtual one. If people are not available, they can log in. If, does Bidemi want to say something? No. Okay.
Sorry, in addition to what they've said, obviously speaking, we also add course visits because it's a big program. So we need to pay course visit to the provost, to the vice chancellor, to the CMD. If possible, we also pay course visit to the Emirates, to the Emir, because it's important. Things like this must have course visit. Then I'm also thinking in addition, as just like what BG have said, our class is so blessed with people from diverse backgrounds. So if possible, we should also interact with the students. When we're in the medical school, we have areas of deficiency. For example, I'm into forensic medicine. I know when we're in medical school, we are deficient in forensic medicine. It's when I went to it for my postgraduate that I have to level up. So things like that, we can GAFA is into a system. So we can look at some areas, that we think that we can help the medical school and devote a day, to interact with the current student, like mentor-mentee relationship of the team. If we are fortunate, we have people from diaspora, either from South Africa, from US, from UK, can also interact, with the students. So we should have that interface with the students, very, very important. But apart from that, I think we should also add possibilities to whatever program we are having. Others I support absolutely. We should have a project, we should have a public lecture, to have a dinner, but I think that we should also add costs. Thank you very much. Over.
Okay. Okay. So I can make a summary.
Okay, thanks, the chairperson of this August Assembly. Okay, I mean, I just want to, I thought probably you're going to put it in the agenda, but it seems as if we're running off the meeting. So, please say something about the publicity of this event. So, I look at everything and I put all of them into three. As of now, what is very vital is this. I will share some of this with Wally at the end of the meeting, is that we need publicity about this reunion. So how do we want to go about it? We are going to deal with that later. Then number two, the first said about the money. We need money. We are going to raise funds among ourselves. That might not be enough based on what we want to do. So we need to talk about that. That's number two. Then number three, the specifics of this union itself. So this meeting is not about specific, but people have suggested a lot of things. So that's the third pillar. The specific. The first one is the publicity about what we want to do. How do we sensitize ourselves and then the whole community of learning in Nigeria, all over the world? Then the money that we need. And number three, what are we going to do in terms of, is it dinner, a novelty march, fundraising, library, book launch, medical mission? That is the specific for the union itself. And we have agreed that it's going to be in Ilorin. 100% I support that. It's going to be in Ilorin. It should be end of the year. Either it's October, November, December. That should be the best. October would be the best, but if it doesn't work, end of the year. But we need to look at those three pillars in our next meeting that will be shared by Bidemi and Aisha, so that we can concretize all these things and then look at what we're going to do. Over.
Okay, thank you very much. I think from the summary of things, because of time, is that we've already agreed that it will be a physical reunion based in Ilorin, and it will be a combination of physical and virtual in which people are not around, they can log in via Zoom. It's left for the regional people or if they want to do anything they want to do, but irrespective of what date they should not fall on the same date as it should not fall on the same date as the main reunion, and preferable, we said maybe third week of October over the weekend, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Would that be okay? And we've discussed about possible projects, including speaking, visitation, medical outreach, courtesy visit, and interaction with the student. And also we've also discussed about doing advertisements, sensitizing people so that to get them involved. So what I will plan to do on my own side is I can draft a 3-day program because of time. So draft a 3-day program, send it across to everybody in the meantime before the next meeting, people to comment on that so we can have a draft that we can review and approve for the meeting. But I will try and draft something, send it around for people to check and maybe some comments, because if we start doing it now, it's going to take time. So I can just do underline work, draft something and send it around. For the videos, I'm happy to do the videos, which is not a problem for me. So I just want to see if some people, yes, so some people, if you have anything to say, if you can do me a short video clip, then if you could send it to me, then I can include it in the video. So things like, oh, I'm happy to see you, we'll see you there, something like that. If people can do me a short video clip, like 2 seconds or 5 seconds, send it to me. When I do the video, I can include it, then I can share it to people just to play from time to time. So the video now, we'll not be able to really do it this now, because we need to agree on a date, because the date needs to be in the video. So, and I don't want to be here. So, but in the meantime, I will work on that on the ground, draft a program and send it across to people. And if you're all happy, we can deliberate more on it on the next meeting. And in the meantime, I don't know if people can suggest projects that we can do. That's not being good. Do we need to donate? Do we need to donate to the school? Do we need to do a scholarship program? Or what project is the main core project? Definitely dinner, visitation, medical outreach is there, but what main project we need to do? Aisha, Goke, and Nii. Aisha? So Aisha, unmute yourself, please.
I was just wondering that first and foremost, a list of activities has been suggested, quite a long list that I think you can readily capture. So for take home now, what we're agreeing that you'll be sending to us as draft documents. I was thinking, instead of the 3-day program being the first thing, the list of activities first, as draft has been discussed, can be shared, so that would also guide your activities, the 3-day activities that you tend to also draft. That will probably be like a draft, a guide for you. And then don't also forget that you also owe us a draft of the TOR, so that we can fine-tune it properly too. That was what I was going to put. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
GOK, please.
Okay, thanks, Chairperson. I think it's going to be very important for us to speak with people on ground, like Aisha, what is needed. In public, we say, you don't come to my house and just give me bread and butter because you think I'm hungry. Maybe that's what I need. I don't need bread and butter. So what is lacking? What can we tap into? This top-down approach, for me, I don't support it. When you go to a village and you build a bus stop for them, you think they don't have bus stop. They don't need a bus stop. They need some better things. So I think it's going to be vital for the project that we want to do to make meaningful impact. Let's speak, I don't want to put BDB on edge, Aisha on the spot, but I'm sure she will be in a good position to tell us what is not there that we can do for the medical school or for the university itself. I think that will be our first point of call. Then the community, like DJ said, medical and stuff like that. So we can tap into that. But I think it's very important for us to speak to people on ground so that they can tell us what we can do, or a project that we can do that will work like. Over.
Thank you. Niyi, before I share again.
Thank you, Wale. I think first off, I think we need to really identify dates. At the end of October, we have Saturday 23rd or Saturday 30th. Those are the 2 Saturdays after 21st. So I think it's important we have a date we are working towards before we even move further.
So I said, sorry, before you go, I thought we're working towards the 3rd week of October.
Yeah.
So that will be.
We need to put a specific date to it, which is 23rd.
So that will be 23rd. That will be the week, that Friday, 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
All right. And then secondly, I think I agree with what GOK is saying about the project. We need to do some groundwork before we start identifying projects. So I'm going to suggest we leave that till the next meeting and go and do some groundwork before we identify what project. But for this meeting, we can just say things like, are we having how are we going to schedule the reunion? Are we looking at a 2-day weekend or 3-day weekend? And if it's a 2-day weekend, it's going to be packed, or even a 1-day event. It means we're going to be looking at, are we looking at lectures and dinner at the end? Or are we, if it's going to be a 2-day event, is the first day going to be lecture, dinner, and then outreach on the second day before everybody disperses? Things like that. But when it comes to specific projects, we need to maybe do some groundwork, come back tomorrow, and next time we have a meeting and bring up.
What I was thinking is a 3-day event. If we try discussing, it will take a long time. And what I said I volunteer is I would draft a program for over 3 days, send it to individual people for comment, then before we have the next meeting. Because if we start discussing this meeting, we won't get anywhere.
Yeah, so there's no point having a discussion about what project we want to do now, because we, like GOK said, we need to identify.
No, I mean the 3-day program I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'll try and do a 3-day program. I send it across to people for comment, then refine it. Then before the next meeting, then we can agree on that. Because we start identifying now to say Friday, this is what we want to do. It's going to take time, but I can do the underlining.
I appreciate that, but I'm saying even identifying the projects, we can't identify specific projects
yet. Yeah,
it has to be at the next meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Aisha next, but Aisha can also help with the project, please. So Aisha and yeah, Aisha next, please. I think Bode has joined us now. Bode, welcome. I know it's too early for you. Aisha, you're muted.
Actually, when we anticipated this reunion, I had made some moves. I've visited the provost to tell him that I'll probably come on an official visit once I get a go ahead from the class, for us to be able to, for him to identify the areas of needs in the medical school there and where we can come in. I intend to get a list of things, and then we'll look at those things, the ones that we'll be able to, because they can bring big projects as big as come and big and build a theater or something. So I intend to get a list from the provost. I already booked an appointment with him for Tuesday, God willing.
Thank you.
And then I can come out with a list, and then we can deliberate on the list based on our capacity, our financial capacity.
Thank you very much. Sorry, just to update Bode just woke up. Just to say, we've just been discussing about the project, the reunion for 2020, which we think will be around October. But I will send a minute out later and the video of these recordings for this meeting.
Okay.
You can have a look. Sorry, I know you're just waking up. Your eyes is still.
All right.
It's right. Okay. Okay. Okpe wants to say something.
Okay, so in the interest of time, like this is going into 2 hours now.
Yeah.
My assumption was this meeting was going to be more like introductory session. I don't expect us to be able to like agree on the details during this meeting. Why can't we just assign, like, have a plan for the next meeting and assign like duties, like, okay, for everybody to maybe come up with ideas and forward it to the secretary or whoever we decide to send it to, who brings it together, and then we can now deliberate next meeting. It's very unlikely that we can agree on details right now. I like the fact that Aisha has a meeting booked already to kind of review the possible projects that we can probably take on. And yeah, so we could just leave it like that and let's just move on.
Thank you. So as I said, the way forward is I'll do some underlying work and I'll send it across. I think we're almost finishing now. Somebody's asking a question. Who is the provost? Aisha, can you help us, please?
Oti Adedoyin of pediatrics.
Okay,
yes,
Adedoyin pediatrics. Okay.
He's also an alumni.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anything else to add? Anything else to add? I think we've already covered most of what we need to discuss today. Let me see the program. Yeah. AOB. Anything else to add, please? Nevoski want to say something.
Yeah, just wanted to say it's good to see you all. You're all doing.
Okay, next meeting. So not great. It just tells you want to say, okay. So when should we think the next meeting will be? Monthly meeting, or
sorry, I didn't raise up my hand. I'm so sorry. I think we should make it fortnightly first, and we can review as we go.
I'm going to suggest monthly because
I will go with monthly, sir. Fortnightly will be too much, sir.
we all have busy schedules, and
sorry, sir. Monthly, sir.
It's difficult to have this 2-hour session every 2 weeks.
Okay, I think monthly. That's the consensus, sir.
Yes, I think monthly.
I have something to say.
Yeah, okay, please. Yeah. Give them.
Who is talking?
Yeah,
okay, please go ahead.
No,
Bidemi, continue. When you're done, let me talk.
Yeah. Okay. I think I also subscribe for monthly meeting. We can continue daily interaction on the WhatsApp platform. like Aisha now, whatever is the resolution from the provost, you can share with us on the platform. And if there are other assignments, you can also continue interaction, on the platform.
So monthly, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monthly as a day.
Should we make the next one the last Saturday of March? That'll be 27th. I don't know what I'm doing on that 27 anyway, but what do we think? 20 or 27 at the same time?
Okay, while we're thinking about the date, there's something I want to say. What Moyo said actually makes sense. I think it's Moyo that suggested 2 weeks. It's a lot of time, but we're just starting this. Let me even put my camera a second. We're just starting this process. And everything is everywhere. Of course, we can't be doing 2 weekly, but we may actually try, even if it's to meet earlier, like 3 weeks. And once things are setting, then we can do monthly. Because, the idea is to come up with something and people flood it with people's mind. And we need money. If we don't come up with something, we can't go and source money. We have to source for money everywhere. We can't just depend on our own donation. If we want to make it successful, we can get money from that's when the whole group comes. Some people know pharmaceutical companies, some people know rich people, some people know, the main thing is to come up with something, then we start building on it. So, and the earlier we come up with that, the better that people will get engaged and start thinking about it and start planning it. So that's my little contribution. And it was nice seeing everybody. I know everybody now saw my face.
Yeah, we didn't see your face now.
So I was going to say is that we still have the WhatsApp chat function.
Yes.
We can always communicate and get ourselves updated. Honestly, meeting more frequently than monthly is a lot of work, and we're putting a lot aside to do that. Look at Bode just waking up. You want him to be like keeping that vigil to do this every time, like too frequently. We have the WhatsApp chat group that we can always send information and keep ourselves updated. But honestly, I think anything more frequent than monthly is going to be too much.
I agree. Again.
Okay, thank you. GOK.
Thanks, Chairman. I think I'm going to, follow the sentiment Mediset just put, forward. At the early phase of this thing, we might need to probably meet, 3 weeks. It won't be more than 2 or 3 times. So, and the reason is for us to iron out some things. For instance, if I shall meet with the provost and then we have a list of things, we need to brainstorm quickly. We can't wait for a month before we do that. And we need to look at opportunities. Maybe somebody needs to approach a donor and stuff like that. So maybe at this early stage, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then afterwards, monthly. Because the workshop that you guys are talking about, some people, even I myself, at times, I think I want to follow the group, but you just get caught up with something and then you cannot even read until after maybe a couple of days. So the WhatsApp group is fine, but imagine this meeting that we have. Do you think we can do this WhatsApp group and then let's just commit a little bit, maybe at this early phase, and then subsequently it's going to be monthly. And the other thing I want to suggest is this. Wale, is it possible for us to expand this group? Because I think earlier on somebody was saying that we might need some subcommittee. So the reason for that is that we might see somebody who may want to assist us with something so that we can rope them in and then put them somewhere. I'm just suggesting in case we want to, and it's a way of carrying people along, just to a sense of belonging. We want them to participate, and then we want them to be part of this. So giving them something to do, they are part of this, giving them a role, maybe that might encourage them to participate. So it's just a suggestion as time goes on. But for today's meeting, I think we've covered enough. Thanks. Over.
Sorry, GOK. Even to organize this meeting, I know what it takes me, and there's other meetings I have to decline. So I think meeting more frequently is going to be a challenge for me. I'm sorry. Just other commitment I have, other activities I have, and I prefer monthly. And as we said, I don't want to be waking body up every 2 weeks to be waking up early in the morning, 6 o'clock.
But you are not the chairman for the next time, so you are supposed to obey.
I'm the secretary.
If I can call you, you will come to the meeting. Who are you? See, next meeting is that is going to call this meeting, not you.
That's my own. Yeah, you want to say something now?
I mean, just to echo what you said, I think everybody on this platform now, I'm sure everybody sacrificed something to be here today.
Yeah.
And we need to be considerate of each other. The WhatsApp forum, it may not be ideal, but it is constantly there. People can check it at their own, at will, and make comments at will. So I think that should help us. And in terms of, sorry, Joke, it looks like I'm antagonizing you at every point today. It's not intentional. But bringing new people onto the forum, it means it will mean we have to bring them up to speed, and all those kind of things might slow us down. If we have specific tasks for people, we can define those tasks and identify people who can do them and let them just do that task. Let the people in this group be focused and be the driving force behind delivering the reunion. I mean, it doesn't mean we are going to do all the work. It just means that we are just the ones managing the project.
Okay.
So
BJ,
my hand is up.
Yeah, BJ, Tristan, Aisha, BJ first.
So I'll be very brief. I think we need to make it clear. When we say we meet in a short period, it's for a start. This committee is in a formative stage. We don't have direction yet. Once we are able to have direction, we have set our goal, our targets, and our milestones. Even if you want us to meet quarterly, that's fine. But it's too 1 month is too early for a team that is just coming together on a particular task. So I know we are all very busy. I am too. And we put ourselves forward knowing the responsibility, what we are wishing to give out. So if we can take it, probably we do it once or twice, and once we have direction, then it can even be quarterly. Over. Thank you.
Tris, then Aisha, then Bidemi. Tris, please.
I agree with what everybody had said, especially, I know, let us also know that the fact that we're in this committee does not mean we don't have access to the whole class. If we need anything from any member of the class, we can go get it from them or ask them. But the thing about it is that when you enlarge a group, it becomes more difficult because this meeting, for example, if it was 4 people, maybe it would have lasted for 1 hour. But because we're more, everybody has to talk, everybody has to be heard. And so the thing about when something is new, it's always good to circle back, even if it's just like we do the whole work on the group and then bring it as a meeting. So the meeting will not last 2-3 hours. And Walexi, next time you're going to keep us for 2 hours, please bring refreshment. I am hungry.
So every 2 weeks, I should bring you refreshment every 2 weeks.
No, but I said, no, listen, you didn't listen. I said, next time you're going to keep us for long, bring refreshment.
I mean, you're not going to keep
Aisha, Aisha, please.
Well, I want to thank everyone for their contribution. I know it's not quite easy. It's going to be a sacrifice. I want to seek the indulgence of especially Wale. Let's please, at least for this first meeting, the gap should not be as much as 1 month. Let's be able to at least meet in a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then we can now set out goals and give responsibilities to individuals, which we can monitor through the WhatsApp platform. I know it's not easy, but you have always done it, and I know you can do it, at least just for one more meeting. Thank you.
Okay, Amanisi, please.
I think I want to align
Rounding up.
myself with previous recommendation by UK, DJ, and Aisha. I think they have superior arguments. Yeah, we just starting and we need to consolidate on some of our recommendations. Aisha probably have a feedback by next week. Also need to decide. The budget is also there floating. Don't have a issue on the budget. So I think if we can actually make it shorter, I think I agree with them. 2 weeks, 3 weeks will be fine for us to really fine tune many of our recommendations and suggestions. Over.
I'm sorry, Wale. I bow to superior arguments.
Okay. If we say 6 weeks, the only challenge, if we say 3 weeks, that'll be 6th of March.
Yeah.
Although I'm on call on that day, if I can't join the meeting, somebody else can take the minutes.
No, maybe we should pick a date that you won't be on call. We'll need you to come on board to give us a lowdown of your assignment.
So that then has to be for 2 weeks' time. Will be the 20. I have another church meeting on the 27th. I have another meeting all evening.
What about the week after 6th?
That'll be 13. That's 1 month then.
It's okay.
The week before 6th. Are you on call on that week?
No, I'm not on that call. That'll be 13. That's 1 month.
No. Before the 6th.
That'll be 27. I have another program.
And that will be 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be 2 weeks. I have another program. Let's put it for 6th of March. I will see if it's late in the evening.
What about your call?
My call, I go and I should be back home by late in the evening.
Wale is a boss man.
He's a which kind of boss man. If they call me, say coronavirus, the hospital, I have to go now. Yeah, okay, let's put it for the 6th of March.
It's okay. God bless you.
Is that okay, everybody, at the same time?
Yeah, thank you guys for considering.
Yeah,
much
fine.
Appreciated.
6th of March at the same time. Any other AOB?
Well, let's see. What day did you say? I didn't hear that.
6th of March. That'll be 3 weeks.
6th or 26th?
6th, yeah, 6,
06.
Okay.
You can't be eating alone.
You can't be eating your own.
You can't be eating alone.
That's just watermelon. I said I was hungry. Nobody even answered me.
Well, let's see. Can I move for adjournment of this meeting?
Yeah, so next meeting.
Before you move it.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
So what I plan to do now is I will send a summary draft of what we discussed today, then share the video of this recording for people to have the full details. I will try and draft a 3-day program and share with people to see that we can make comment before the next meeting. And also for the video advert, I'm happy to do that. But if people can just send me a short video recording on their mobile phone to say, oh, you're welcome to the reunion, or we'll see you there, kind of a thing, then I could incorporate everything together. So if you could send me that video advert, please, I would really appreciate that. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. I think.
Sorry, do you have our email addresses? So that
I can send it on you. I'll send it on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, we all have WhatsApp.
Okay.
I'll send it as a PDF file or a WhatsApp.
Yeah, not serious.
Yeah. I'll send it, and the video, I'll send the link on the forum too. Okay, great. I think that's all covered. Anything
those
else?
that are waking up, she will go to church.
Thank you. Some people will go to preparing to go to church. Me, I need to sleep and wake up for church. It will be nothing else. So closing prayer. Who is going to give us closing prayer?
The problem with Nigeria is that we pray too much.
We pray too much. So, BJ, you give us closing prayer since you're complaining about.
Okay, God will answer our prayer. Amen. Let's go and sleep.
Amen.
Amen.
Guys, I almost forgot. Wale, I think you need to give the class some clarification about IOShare. So, I spoke to Alonge Andrew. He was involved in the activity behind the scene. So a lot of our classmates were asking questions as if he was neglected. So please, you need to, I don't know how we're going to do it, but just to clarify everything, the work you guys were doing behind the scene and stuff like that. And I see today somebody was saying if they are going to do something for the family, and you know, there are some challenges with the family also. So I think we have to give the whole group a good picture of what is going on. Why we couldn't assist the way we did with what's just that guy? I forgot his name now. Yeah, no, there's the guy that we assisted recently also. So please, Wally, yeah.
So
sorry, let me
before you say something.
Let me stop this recording. So I don't want to record what we're going to say.
Okay, please stop
I'll
it.
stop this recording now.
I think GOK.
Wait, so he has not stopped it. Well, Alexis, stop the recording.